So today we are back with one that a lot of people want to know about, and that is this person interested in me and how do I know? So I'm going to talk about first how to know if someone is interested in you in the context of, not online, in person. Maybe you're in a class with this person or you see this person on a regular basis versus online signals. So first we're going to go ahead and dive into the in-person version of this, which is, first and foremost, I want to say the person will probably try to be in close proximity to you. They will find a reason to stand next to you or, walk near you any chance they get. This could be in the context of a class. This could be in the context of a nightclub if you go regularly, or even if you happen to be out one night, the person will try to get in proximity of you. Another one will be if you catch them looking at you. These are kind of like a little bit, it sounds obvious, but people sometimes don't know that this is going on, or they're just not sure. But if someone's looking at you, we naturally look at people that we're, I guess we look at people for a lot of different reasons, but in the context of being in someone's proximity on a regular basis or when you're out, a lot of times that is a sign that someone, is interested or they find you attractive. And then if someone tries to start up conversations with you, and this is especially in the context of if you are in a class with someone or something, they'll find a way to, just talk to you about pretty much anything. They might ask you, what you think of the class, or are you having fun in this? Or, oh, are you going to, for instance, maybe if you have a regular class that you go to or a regular community event or, something like that, sometimes there'll be something, there'll be like everyone will go out afterward or something, and they'll be interested to see if you're going to go do that too. So they'll find a reason to speak with you about maybe anything and everything, even if it's something as simple as the weather, just because they want to start engaging with you. And then, they might find ways to get to know you beyond that. Like I said, like if you go out in the group, or if there's any opportunity to, hang around after or walk you to your car or walk along with you to class, from class, of course there's the in-work setting as well, where you can really get to know people. I know people, my cousin actually, and her husband met at work. They worked together for a lot of years before they ended up in a relationship and got married. But I know that can be a little bit of a dicey situation, but it is quite common because you're able to see someone in various situations. And there are a lot of times where people who work together end up in relationships, friendships. And so in the context of that or other group dynamics where you're someone's in, close proximity with you and you get to see them in a lot of situations, they'll try to find a way to get to know you. And then lastly, they may just ask you out, try to find out, they may ask you out, or say, do you want to go do something separate from the group? It may be, in the context of friends, so that it doesn't feel intimidating at all. They may say something like, would you like to go get a coffee after class today? If you've spoken before and you seem to have a good conversation with someone. And then there's also, they might ask you out romantically. Say, I really, I've liked getting to know you in class, and I'm wondering if you have any interest in going to dinner with me, or going to coffee with me. So those are the ways you may, that everything's going to come together in a setting like that. Those are ways you can tell if someone is interested in you. I will say that, it's never cut and dried, and there can be other nuanced things, and people can be slow about it. People can be intimidated. Another thing that you may see is they're trying to find out if you have a partner already, or if you're dating somebody already, by just, they may be very frank and flat out and say, oh, are you seeing someone? Usually this will come in a different form, though. You'll see something like, oh, is your boyfriend or girlfriend going to be there? Or, they'll ask a little question to just kind of see if that is a thing. Or a lot of people have rings and stuff. They're engaged, so you can look for that. But that's not always a guarantee, because like certain activities and stuff that you might do, someone might not have their wedding ring on for whatever reason. Some people don't wear wedding rings and things like that, and so people will get curious about that. So those are the main points that I can think of right now in the context of if someone does or doesn't like you in offline, like if you are in the context of the offline setting. So online, this can get very funny and very, it should be simple, but I think sometimes people get a little caught up on certain things, like how long they will allow, or a person will allow, the online chatting and the texting to go on. So I'm going to go ahead and go into how to get out of that and into like seeing, because I think that these are what I'm going to say are the key signs if someone's truly interested in you, which is they will engage in chats online. They will regularly engage with you over, a few days or a week. And I really wouldn't allow it to go on too long, because I think that you need to be in a talking stage relatively soon to see if there's anything there, because I think that texting it's a terrible substitute for completely getting to know someone. Some people are very good at texting and very awkward when it comes to having a conversation, or they're not able to express themselves in that way, or you're not really getting to know someone in the context of when you're just like writing back and forth like that. It's kind of almost a false sense of getting to know someone. So someone who's truly interested, they will engage in text, and they will try to get you off of the app in a way that isn't like, I think there's certain things that are insidious and, maybe that's another episode. But in terms of when someone likes you and they're interested in getting to know you, they will get you off of the app by saying, hey, would you like to go to, and if you're worried about this too, you can get a Google number so that they don't have access to your phone number, and I would suggest that. And then they want to get you on the phone, and then they want to start talking to you soon, relatively soon, so you can see if you're able to even have a conversation with someone, because that's, pretty pretty, I would say pretty important to see if you can even, have a decent conversation with someone. And phone calls for some people are somewhat awkward, but if someone likes you, I think they're usually willing to get to that point. You don't necessarily, if they aren't really a phone person, they're usually at least willing to get on there for a few minutes and then plan to get to know you in person. Planning that they will get into the planning of hanging out, and it won't be very difficult. It will be, hey, you want to do this? You want to do that? And whatever party kind of like puts out that information, the other person will be interested, and it will happen relatively quickly, and you will see that person, and then see if it works from there. And they are open to meet. They're not. Most people who have done online dating know these people who just kind of waste your time. They'll talk to you, and then like they'll say they want to meet, but then it doesn't really, it's not, it doesn't come together. They're like, yeah, I want to meet. And then it's this ambiguous, well, maybe next week. And then you don't really hear much after that. And it's just, no, they're not that interested. They don't really like you that much. Now, I think a more important question in all of this is, do you like them? Because I think a lot of times we can get in that energy of, oh, are they interested? Do they like us? And it's really important to focus on also, do you like them? Do you feel comfortable around them? Is, going out and doing things with them something you enjoy? How do you feel? How do they make you feel about yourself when you're with them? I think that if you meet somebody in the context of like a class or in real life, or you're seeing people in different situations, and maybe you have a common friend group or something like that, it's a little easier, because you have a different context. Whereas online, you really need to get into that space of your body and feel into like, do I like how what they bring out in me, and do I like the way I feel when I'm around them? Do I like how much they ask me about myself too? Because I think that sometimes a person can get enamored with an online kind of persona or whatever, and then meet in person, and maybe that person's kind of charismatic or something like that, but they're not really asking you questions. So above all of this is like, yeah, do they like me, but do you like them is maybe a little bit more important question. Because if, in the space of dating and in relationship, you are looking for something more serious, you really want to focus on how you feel around them too. So I hope this helps you get some clarity on that. And now I'll speak a little bit into the opposite, which is when someone's not into you. And I think it's something that people will... We've probably all done it, where we try to talk ourselves out of something, in the sense of, or into something, where we're looking for signs that, oh, they did this little thing, so maybe that means this. I think everything that I laid out are clear signs that someone does like you. Some people, I will tell you that even really shy people, it's not too hard to figure out when someone likes you. Even shy people will come forward in ways, like I said, maybe they look at you all the time, or they will try to be in close proximity. Over the years of dating that I've had, shy people have come forward to me and even confessed that, I've had a crush on you for years or a year, or I want to tell you something, and they take me aside and they tell me, and they're really shy. They're capable of doing this. So I think that if you feel like you're constantly reading tea leaves and trying to figure out whether or not there's a sign from the universe that this person likes you, they probably aren't interested in you. And if you're really that, you really want to find out, contrary to popular belief, maybe you should ask them. And sometimes people don't want to be harsh or something, so they'll be like, oh, but if someone does, they'll say, yes, I do. And I'll tell you, over the years, I hope this doesn't deter you too much, but over the years, I have also had crushes on people and told people that I like them, and they're like, no, I don't like you that way. And you just have to be accustomed to that. Sometimes people are going to reject you because, we're not everyone's cup of tea. And that's fine. That doesn't mean anything bad about you. Doesn't mean anything bad about them. It just means that it's not a match. And you can get that clarity, and then you can move forward. And if you just heard something, that was my cat getting annoyed that my Nathaniel, who helps me with my videos, was trying to steady the camera so he didn't mess it up. And yeah, he's annoyed that he couldn't mess up the camera. So thank you, Nathaniel, for keeping the cat from moving the entire camera. But in any case, I'm hoping this is something that you can decipher better after seeing this video. If you have any things that you've seen or that have worked for you in determining whether or not you like someone or someone likes you, or how to talk to someone about that, having that little awkward conversation about, hey, I have been, having a crush on you, and I would like to know if you'd like to go have a coffee, or I'm curious if you have any interest or if you feel the same way. Please pop it down below in the comments. I will be back next Friday, as always, at 5 p.m. And I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. And I will see you next time. Bye.